Now I'm walking on a section called Moss Island. It's between the canal and the river. It's kind of dog bone shaped. Starts way over there and west, goes over here to the east. Well, we got some visitors up here. You're looking at the mighty Mohawk River. We had some rain last night, so it's high. Now we had rain all spring. That's the problem. Here's a view from the other side of the bridge. There is the remains of the aqueduct that used to be here. Now this is a much calmer Erie Canal section. Going west to east. Yeah, this has been an awful spring this year. It's been mostly rain and clouds. We had a little sunshine yesterday, a little bit today. Now I'm walking on a section called Moss Island between the canal and the river. It's kind of dog bone shaped. Starts way over there and west, goes over here to the east. On the east section there are a lot of rocks, popular with the rock climbers, and there are potholes too, geologic formations. When people mention Moss Island, they typically refer to the east end, which I'll show you when I get there. I did a video several months ago about that section of Moss Island. Well, we got some visitors up here, a lot of ducks. Some ducks with their newborns up there. One duck over there was hissing at me as I walked by. These two seem a bit friendlier. There's a little waterfall across the canal. When we circle around, we'll get a closer view. I'm not much for modern art, but that one looks pretty good here. Now I've taken many walks along this road by the canal, one of my go-to walks when I just want some exercise or unwind or think about my writing. This section here is special to me. Next to this brick building. Right now it's just a grassy plot. There used to be several houses here, shops, bars in the early 1900s. My dad used to live here till he was 6 years old. I have a postcard with pictures of the house and some other pictures. I'll post to this video if I can find them. His dad died when he was 6, and after he died, then they moved into the city proper. He used to tell me when the barges would go by on the canal, they'd stop here. You know, if it had rained out and there were big puddles here, some of the people on the barges would throw coins into the puddles and the kids would dive into the puddles to get them. Now this is Goat Island in the middle of the canal. My dad said they used to swim over there or boat over there and play when they were kids. One story he told me, he said he was about 6 years old and he was swimming in here and nearly drowned. He went under a few times and some kid pulled him out the last minute and saved him. I can't remember who pulled him out. He told me once, but thank God he did, or I wouldn't be standing here filming this right now. Now we're coming up to the hydroelectric plant just up ahead. The canal system was, or at least in Little Falls, was supposed to open tomorrow, I believe, but it's been postponed a little bit because of all the rain we've had. Other sections of the canal have opened already. This is some of the mess from winter that will have to be cleaned up before our portion of the canal can be reopened. Anyone need some firewood? The ducks are everywhere today. I think I see some rock climbers down there now, so they may be attempting to do some climbing today. Nice day for it. A couple of rock climbers who let me take their picture from a distance, so I won't interrupt them too much. But they're gonna ascend way up there. Good luck to them. There's more of winter's leftovers by the canal gates. Definitely a cleanup job needed here. Here's another view of Moss Island. I won't climb up it today. Just give you a little shot of it. Here's Lock 17. When the boats come through this end, heading east, they'll fill the canal up down there. It's empty right now. And when the water level's even, they'll open the gates, the boat will go through, and they'll lower the water again, open the other gate, and then they'll head out that way. This is the east end of Moss Island. We'll just take a quick peek over here. Hope these pictures are steady. I'm a very amateur photographer. Alright, you can see Wind Bridge in the distance. Named after our former mayor, Ted Wynn. Alright, now I'm going to cross over the lock, head to the other side. There's a view of the Mohawk River going east. There's a view of the canal, or I'm sorry, the lock. This is a pulley system on this side, so one weight will go down and the gate will raise up. And the boat will come out right down there. Now we're continuing across. Made it to the staircase. I didn't film going down the stairs. I didn't want to fall flat on my face and tumble down. And now we'll head down this way and we'll see the old portion of the Erie Canal. Head back up there shortly after we see the canal. This path will take us to the Erie Canalway Trail. Now this is the old portion of the Erie Canal. This used to be filled with water years ago. It was very narrow and they had to rebuild the current canal. Apparently the old Erie Canal here was called Lock 36 and not Lock 17. Here's a better view of the canal. Okay, let's walk through it. This used to be filled with water 100 or so years ago, maybe longer. I think the canal celebrated its bicentennial 200 years ago, 2 years ago maybe. Steep drop here. And we made it to the top. And here's a view from the other end. Here, we'll walk over to the edge. Hopefully I don't fall off. Pretty neat. Boy, look at the stonework. It's beautiful. Okay, now we're going to head up the steps and get onto the Erie Canal Trail. Erie Canalway Trail. I filmed that in different parts in some of my previous videos. So here we go again. Here it is, the official Erie Canalway Trail. Runs from Albany to Buffalo, about 360 miles. Most of it is completed. A couple of sections you have to use existing roads and highways until they finish it. Here's the west view. Okay, today we're heading west on the trail. Nice and sunny. Better enjoy this before it disappears. Sun has been a rare commodity in central New York this spring. There's Lock 17 from the trail. I know it's spring, but it has an early autumn feel to it here. It's like we're going to bypass spring and summer altogether and go right back to autumn. The Erie Canalway Trail is a biking and walking trail, about 360 miles. A lot of it is paved like this. This is a nice section. Some might be like a stony path or a grassy path, and then connecting highways. There might be some dirt paths too, but it's relatively flat. A couple of hills here and there maybe. I hiked east along the Canalway path last summer to Lock 16 in Mindenville. That was about, what, 6 miles from here maybe? 6 or 7. Oh, it was a really hot day that day. And then this past January I walked to Lock 18 heading west. Oh, that's another maybe 5 miles or so from here. And then Lock 18, I think they're starting to build more of the trail from there, heading west. Now, there's a lot of nice stone in this part of the trail and little falls. Actually, the section I'm walking on now used to be railroad tracks here years ago. There are some very cinematic sections in this part of the walking trail with these rocks. I always thought it'd be a good place to film a movie scene. Depending on the time of year or the time of day, the amount of daylight, or even the weather conditions, parts of this trail take on different personalities every time you walk it. It's really neat. Alright, we're getting closer to the waterfalls that we saw on the other side of the canal. You can hear them a little bit in the distance. Yeah, there's one of the waterfalls. Beautiful. Okay, we got just a little bit of mud here. I'll try to avoid it and get a closer shot of the falls here. And it all pours out of here back into the canal. And there's a little bit of Goat Island from the other side. Now, I was talking about my dad earlier. He lived on the other side of the canal till he was 6. But up there on that street, I don't know if you can see the building. It's either that building or one right next to it. That's the old Slovenian Hall in Little Falls. My parents had their wedding reception there in 1950. I remember they said they had 500 people there. I've toured the building before. I don't know how they fit 500 people in there. They must have been eating outside in the street too. Yeah, Dad died in 2002, about 17 years ago. And my mother, she just died 5 weeks ago. She was 89. God bless her soul. Yeah, they had their wedding reception up there, and it was a real big party from what I heard. And now we come to another rocky section of the walking trail and a little tunnel up ahead. Well, we've made it to the tunnel. Hello! Yeah, we got a little echo there. There, I made it through the tunnel unscathed. No shelob to worry about. And here's some more of that rocky cinematic landscape near the end of this portion of the trail. Now, speaking of movies, Little Falls had a major motion picture filmed here end of 2017, end of October. If you remember the movie A Quiet Place, the first half minute or so of that movie was filmed on our main street in Little Falls, New York. One of my walking videos I filmed last autumn, I did a little parody at the beginning of A Quiet Place, affectionately so, before the portion of my walk. I think I filmed the walk part in December. The director was John Krasinski, played Jim on The Office TV show. Michael! He was here a couple of weeks ago with some of this crew, scouting some locations again, so he may film part of the sequel here again. We'll have to wait and find out. In the meantime, we're almost back into the city. And this portion of the trail will lead right to the bridge that crosses the river and the canal. And now we're back in civilization. We'll just walk up this section here and I'll show you where the next section of the Erie Canalway Trail is. Turn here, I'll take you to the Little Falls Canal Harbor, so you can pick up the trail over there as well. Or just go left here and the trail picks up right here across this little patch of road. Continue that way to shuffle off to Buffalo. But I'm going back into town, into the city. And we'll call this video over today. Boy, what a beautiful day. Get a view of the tree line here. Here's a view of the canal from the bridge. And here's a view of the Mohawk River from on the bridge.